Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum mă scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial, loial. Restul voia sorții, scuze, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Sipim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare, mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit, fiindcă avem o singură viață. De ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. De ale, de ale, de ale. Ce ale, 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 nu știu ce să aleg. Dar ce ale, 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 ale. Nu te teme de moarte că nu-ți mai trăiești viața. Pune zâmbetul pe față dimineața. Du-te, ia legume fresh, fă-ți viața. Pune doar ce trebuie în trupul ăla ca un rasa. Niște mișcare ca să ungă carcasa. Binecuvântare nu e lumea prea razna. Alegerile noastre ne fac să simțim asta. Atât de multe drumuri eu, yeah. De ale, de ale, de ale, de ale. Dar ce ale, 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 ale.
Știi, avem o singură viață și nu
știu ce să aleg.
merită să ne stresăm în fiecare zi pentru toate mizeriile.
Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. One life, one life. One life, one life, one life. One life, one life, one life, one life. Learn it, love it, live it. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Nu știu încă de unde am venit, ce caut aici. Plecam cu coada între picioare, acum mă scap de afiș. N-aveam răbdare să ascult deloc, acum taci și răspund după ce înțeleg ce-ai zis. Se simte timpul cum trece sau noi cum trece prin timp. Trăiesc momentul de față ca să-mi creez amintiri. Țin de familie, de prieteni, de cine-i loial, loial. Restul voia sorții, scuze, mă cheamă propriul destin. Totuși te simt, o singură șansă avem cu sorii. Sipim focul deschis, e mult mai greu când ai un scop de atins. Te uiți pe lângă tine, vezi cine a supraviețuit. Câți din ei se luptă să trăiască cum ar trebui. O inimă mare, doi plămâni ca să respir. O inimă mare, mă inspiră zi de zi. Fă din șansa ta un vis, fă din șansa ta un vis împlinit, fiindcă avem o singură viață. De ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. Avem o singură viață, de ce să o pierdem cu detalii care nu-s necesare? Umplem iar pahare până la refuz, yeah. Așa îmi vine și mă și amuz uneori. De ale, de ale, de ale. Dar ce ale, 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 ale. poate că nu-ți mai trăiești viața. Pune zâmbetul pe față dimineața. Du-te, ia legume fresh, fă-ți viața. Pune doar ce trebuie în trupul ăla ca un rasa. Niște mișcare ca să ungă carcasa. Binecuvântare nu e lumea prea razna. Alegerile noastre ne fac să simțim asta. Atât de multe drumuri eu, de alei, de alei, de alei, de alei. Dar ce alei, 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 alei.
Știi, avem o singură viață și
Nu
nu
știu
prea
ce să aleg.
merită să ne stresăm în fiecare zi pentru toate mizeriile.
Hi and welcome everyone to another deadline stream on this channel. And yes, I've got the mic. Hopefully it sounds okay. Good morning everyone. Thank you so much for joining so early this stream. Firstly, how are you? I'm just drinking my coffee. So hi Abid Al Hussein. Hi Edvix. So yeah, I've got the mic. Hopefully you can hear me correctly. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Yeah, really good to see you here. So yeah, you already asked me a lot of questions. So as I said in the chat, Dubravka or Raya, for me, probably if I had both, I would just start Raya because he's playing in the better defense. Sunderland defender against Aston Villa. Again, I know that Aston Villa didn't score any goal in the first 4 games of the season, but I wouldn't be so trustful to play a Sunderland defender against Aston Villa. Pretty much that's what I would do. Again, if you have any other defenders better, I would start them instead of a Sunderland defender. Grealish against Liverpool. Again, it's against Liverpool. It's not amazing, but if you have Grealish, surely you're just going to play him if you don't have any other defenders, any other midfielder, sorry, better. Emi Martinez or Petrovic. Okay, so can you rate our teams? Yeah, for sure, Edvix. You can write it on the chat or you can send it on Twitter. You have the links into my description. If you want, you can send me a screenshot or something like that. Emi Martinez, hi Toj, also thank you so much for joining. Hi Stephen Cummings, thank you so much guys for joining so early. Emi Martinez or Petrovic. For sure, I would start Emi Martinez in that case. I mean, Petrovic is. Wait a second, I have a lag. Would you take a chance on Eze this weekend at all? Again, if you have Eze, I would play him. Probably I expect him to start against Manchester City, but I just think that the fixture is not amazing for Arsenal. Just a second. Also, guys, please remind me to start the countdown when we have 2 hours left. So yeah, I would start definitely Emi Martinez. Petrovic is playing against Newcastle at home, so again, maybe some chances for Bournemouth to keep a clean sheet against Newcastle, but I would expect probably Aston Villa to have a better chance. So yeah, if you're asking me, DM McDonald, if I would transfer in Eze, probably this is not the week to buy him, but if you have him into your team, probably I would just play him. Haaland, João Pedro, Semenyo, Virgil van Dijk, captain. Yeah, I would not captain Virgil van Dijk. That's a tough question. If you had Mohamed Salah, probably I would just captain Salah, but Haaland against Arsenal, I'm not really... I don't know, I know that everybody now is really interested in having Erling Haaland, but against Arsenal away is just the toughest fixture he's going to have all season, so I would not feel so confident about captaining Haaland, to be honest with you. And then probably I would just pick one between João Pedro and Semenyo. I would not captain Virgil van Dijk also, so probably Semenyo, because there is a chance it's going to be also on penalties. Yeah, Edvix, I'm going to take a look at your team in a second, okay? Thanks a lot for sending me your team. Already had him made. Thank you for answering. Hope you're keeping well. yeah, I think that I'm catching a cold, but yeah, I feel better because FPL is back. So yeah, hopefully nothing serious. Okay, so you already have Eze. I really need to see all your midfielders. Sorry, my coffee machine is turning down. Sorry for the noise. Okay, now I can talk. Um, so yeah, I really need to see all your midfielders to see if I would start Eze instead of them. If you have Rogers, if you have Salah, Wirtz, probably I would just start them instead of Eze. But if not, yeah, I expect Eze to start. Now, is there a risk of Martinelli starting instead of Eze? Yeah, probably, but again. Hi, Luca de Gabriel. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Bench boosting with Ryan, Dubravka, Anderson, and Esteve. Also rolling the transfer and keeping Rogers and Watkins for one more week, and then look to get Haaland and Semenyo next week. Yeah, we have a lot to talk today and in the next week because in the first impression for me after Game Week 4 finish was I need to wildcard in Game Week 6. Now I'm not 100% sure. I still like the idea of wildcarding to get rid of a lot of players I don't really like at the moment, like Wirtz, Rogers, Watkins, but a lot of it is going to depend how they are going to do. Because, for an example, if Rogers and Watkins both get a double-digit return against Sunderland, I'm really curious to see how I'm going to see the situation then. Uh, because the fixtures obviously are really good for Aston Villa. Yeah, Haaland and Semenyo from Game Week 6 are probably the best options at the moment. Thanks, mate. No problem. Abid Al Hussein, thank you so much for joining the stream. Hi, Starter. Hi, Eliker. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Good to see you here and good morning also. Would you bench boost with Elliot, Anderson, Dubravka, Esteve, and Diouf? Oh, Elliot Anderson. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that I would. Again, as you can see from the screen, I mean, yeah, you can't see. Sorry. I forgot to. So this is my team at the moment. I have some. I'm planning also to bench boost this game week. And also I have one free transfer, so probably I'm going to sell Sar. I didn't make my transfer yet, but I'm going to bench boost with Dubravka, Pedro Porro, Esteve, and the Ryan is probably is going to be on my bench, right? So yeah, it really depends. Now, are there going to be better opportunities to use your bench boost in the future? Maybe, but at the same time, you just don't know when you're going to have a better team. And for me, myself, in my example, I just want to get the bench boost out of the way because I don't want to think about it anymore. I want to concentrate on the future and to improve my starting 11. So yeah, I'm planning to use my bench boost, and I would do probably the same, Luca de Gabriel, in your case. Sorry, starter. I would use the bench boost with those players. Also, you have Anderson, who's playing against Burnley, and it's way better than me having Reinders against Arsenal. Morning, everyone. My team: Poro, Chaloba, Guehi, Salah, Gakpo, Simons, Eze, Gyökeres, Joao Pedro, Mateta. So you're benching Livramento, Gudmundsson, Dubravka. Not sure about my defense this week. I mean, I would be tempted to start Livramento maybe instead of Chalova, but again, yeah. Guehi, Poro, probably I would start, and then you need to decide between Chaloba and Livramento. No problem, starter. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. So yeah, now let's move. Okay. So from Edwin, use triple captain on Haaland Game Week 1, bench boosted triple Burnley Game Week 2. That's nice. Burnley got a clean sheet right in Game Week 2 and freed 4. I'm wildcarding now. Okay, so you used a lot of chips. Okay, so your rank is 7k. Amazing, Edwin. That's great for you. Hopefully, you're going to keep up with these rankings. Really nice rank. to be at the moment compared to mine, 3.7 millions. So yeah, this is your team. Petrovic, Dubravka. Now, this is a tough question already, starting between Petrovic and Dubravka. Again, Bournemouth probably are the better defense. They having also the tougher fixture against Newcastle at home. Yeah, it's tough. It really depends how you're feeling in this case. Probably I would start Petrovic, I think, but it's really close. Anderson, Senesi, Agbadu. You have also Egdal. So yeah, if you don't want to double up on Bournemouth defense, you can start one of Dubravka or Egdal, I suppose. Other than that, yeah, I would start Anderson, Agbadu, Palmer, Rogers, Mbeumo, Foden, Bruno Fernandes, Watkins, Haaland. Your team looks good, to be honest with you, Edwin. Now, obviously, you know that you have a great rank at the moment. You're captaining Watkins again. Fair enough. I think that he's a better pick than Haaland this week in particular. Personally, other than that, you have already Palmer. You have two players from Manchester United, which is maybe not amazing, but they are decent players. You have also Foden. So yeah, hopefully this is going to work well for you. Maybe not the best team for this gaming in particular, considering that you have two Manchester City players, two attackers against Arsenal. Again, hopefully Aston Villa players are going to do well soon enough for us. Other than that, yeah, it's a great team. I mean, you don't have Mohamed Salah, so you need to captain. With your captaincy, I would be close between Palmer and Watkins, I think. But yeah, I like the punt on Watkins. Hi, Viking in Lanka. Hi, Van Ikvan. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. I have Saliba, Van de Ven, Tarkovsky, Renildo, and Arwan Bisaka. I want to change Bisaka and have 5.7 I can use. You have recommendations. Saliba might be fit this game week against Manchester City. You have Van de Ven, Tarkovsky against Liverpool. Yeah, not great. I mean, again, Senesi, Anderson. You can't afford someone like Gabriel. Gabriel would be the one I would look to buy in the next few weeks, but you can't afford him, so probably just buy a cheap defender, someone like Senesi or Anderson, instead of Arwan Bisaka, who, again, we can't rely on him at the moment. Donnarumma, Tarkovsky, Senesi, Burn, Chaloba, Timber, Grealish, Semenyo, Enzo, Paqueta, Anthony, Voldemard, Haaland, Gyökeres. Who should I captain? Thanks. Currently on Anthony. Thanks. I don't think that I would captain a Burnley player, to be honest with you, but let me just see. Again, if you want to go safe, if you think that Haaland is in good form, if you think that he has a chance of scoring, I probably would just captain Haaland if you want to go safe. If not, Gyökeres is also a nice option on penalties. And if you want to take a punt, I would go for Semenyo instead of Anthony, I think. But this is just my first impression, so yeah. Hey, Dennis, would you do Ratter to Caicedo? Thanks. I don't think that I would do that, but you're asking me. So personally, it's not like I don't rate Caicedo. It's more like it's not so exciting to buy Caicedo. But again, in Gaming 5, at least against Manchester United, you're looking like a minimum 3 to 4 points from Caicedo. So definitely, I don't think that he's a bad option. He's a constant one. I just don't think that he's going to score every game week or assist every game week. It really depends how much money you have in the bank. The GOAT, please give me a budget to see if you have any other options. For an example, myself, in my case, probably I would just go to buy someone like Harvey Elliott at that price than going for Caicedo, but that's just how I think about FPL, and I don't know. Hi Craig, thank you so much for joining. Hi Muhammad Atif, thank you so much guys for joining the stream. Angel won like 4-1 against Burnley and like 2-0 the last 2 times they played, so I like the double up on Bournemouth. Yeah, I mean, he was he was coaching another team, so it's not so relevant, I think, Edwin. But yeah, I mean, Bournemouth looked decent defensively, so I can't say otherwise. They are a good defense. I just think that Newcastle have a chance of scoring in that game. And obviously Nottingham Forest have a chance of scoring against Burnley. It's not, maybe because I have double Burnley defense, I wish that game to be a 0-0 or something like that, but I know the chances are not that high. Bench Johnson or Livramento. I think that I would bench Johnson just because I'm not sure if he's going to start or not. Mostly he's going to be on the bench, so yeah, Muhammad. Goodmanson or Van de Ven. So Goodmanson is playing against Wolverhampton. That's tough. I think that still I would go for Van de Ven, but it's really close. Hi Daniel Regic, pick one to bench, Tosin, Rodon or Van de Ven. I would bench Tosin. I would bench Tosin in that place. I know Manchester United were really bad in the last seasons, but I think that they can score against Chelsea. So yeah, I would just bench Tosin. Hi Mikey. Sanchez, Virgil, Guehi, Van de Ven. Really nice. Semenyo, Kudus, Palmer, Wood, Haaland, Evan Nilsson. And on your bench you have Dubravka, Mbeumo, Reinders, Chalobah. Do you think I should bench boost or who should I bench in captain with one free transfer? So you have Dubravka, Mbeumo, Reinders and Chalobah. I would be tempted to use the bench boost, to be honest with you, but again, it really depends. You really need to ask yourself the question when you're going to have a better bench. Because for an example, you're going to have a better bench in game week 6, considering you have some Chelsea players and some Manchester United players. Maybe you can delay it with one game week, but I don't think that's a bad bench boost. You have Dubravka, Mbeumo, Reinders and Chalobah, so you can easily use your bench boost. But again, you need to answer that question. Denis, Sanchez is not playing, you know. Sanchez is going to play, I think. I know, Edwin, you're referring probably to the comments. Maresca said that the second goalkeeper is going to play some games in the Premier League, in the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, but I just think that he's going to start against Manchester United, to be honest with you, so I'm going to take that chance. I mean, there is a risk, probably, of Sanchez not starting, but I just don't think that's going to be this short term. Suggest good replacement for Johnson and Sarr for long term. I already have Semenyo, Barnes and Gakpo, or should I roll my transfer? I don't know how your team is looking at the moment, Muhammad Atif. Game week 5 is not the best week to buy a lot of midfielders or buy a midfielder in FPL because there aren't a lot of good options. And you asked about Sarr. Sarr is expected to be back for game week 6, so I would be tempted to just keep him, to be honest with you. Now Johnson, again, midfielders, cheap midfielders, Anderson, Reinders. You don't have Reinders, right? Yeah, I would just go for Reinders probably, but next game week, in game week 6. So yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Romania. Edwin, thanks for asking. Where are you from also? Yeah, most of my 11 facing each other, just looking for differentials. Just looking for differentials. Captain this week. Rocks for captain. Villa attack not great at the moment, and Sunderland defense look great. Again, if you ask me right now, I'm expecting Aston Villa to win that game against Sunderland. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that's going to happen, and considering how bad Aston Villa were in the first 4 game weeks of the season, you can easily just say that they are not going to score and Sunderland are going to win, but I just don't think that works that way. I think that Harvey Elliott also is going to start. I think that we're going to see some improvements at some point for Aston Villa, and I know that I'm saying that for the for like the 3 weeks in a row. But yeah, I'm expecting Aston Villa to win against Sunderland. Now we're going to see what's going to happen. You're from Croatia, so yeah. Yeah, that was a really catchy song. So yeah, I would not captain Rolfs, I think, Van Igvan, but yeah, if you wanna just go for if you wanna go for differential, you can do it definitely. Norway here, nice. From your name, I had an idea. You are from Norway, Viking in Lanka, Godson Nadozi. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Which 3 defenders will you go with? Tarkovsky, Diouf, Poro Pedro, Nico Williams, or Gudmundsson? So I would bench Tarkovsky. I think I would start Nico Williams, Pedro Poro, and Diouf or Gudmundsson. I think that I would start Diouf for the upside, for the attacking upside, but yeah, if you want to go safe, just go for Gudmundsson or Tarkovsky if you want to just go for defensive contributions, because probably Tarkovsky is going to get some defensive contributions today against Liverpool. Poro Tarkovsky on a wet pitch will be good. Yeah, I mean, Tarkovsky is going to get defensive contribution points. Maybe he's going to get also a yellow card in the Merseyside derby, but yeah. Celso, Cucurella, Munoz, Pedro Poro, Livramento, Gakpo, Semenyo, Barnes, Pedro Haaland, Wood Esteve, Dubravka, Sarr, and Johnson. So Muhammad Atif, you have a pretty decent team. If you ask me, I don't think that I would be looking to wildcard soon. I think that I would keep Sarr and yeah, Semenyo, Barnes, Pedro, Haaland, Wood. I would roll the transfer, I think, and maybe look to make some transfers in the next few game weeks. The next 2 fixtures for Chris Wood are okay. Now, I get it. Maybe at some point he's not going to get the minutes anymore, Chris Wood. But I would keep him for game week 5 at least. So I would roll the transfer in your case, I think. He loves the 90 plus header too, or a volley, I forgot. Yeah, that was the last time. What happened the last time Everton played against Liverpool, but surely that's not going to happen every time, right? Okay, so in a second we're going to look on Twitter to see the latest information if you want, guys, because we have the time. I'm not really pressured this week because I'm just going to use my bench boost. I just need to figure it out which player I'm going to buy when selling Sar. Thank you for your suggestion, bro. Love from Pakistan. Thank you so much, Muhammad Atif, for joining the stream. Hopefully, my advice is going to help you a little bit. And yeah, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Really appreciated. It is time to sell Forest players. I'm not sure whether to start Ndoye ahead of Poro. I think that I would start Ndoye, to be honest with you. Again, they played a team full of reserves in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, I don't remember, but it was against Brentford, I think. Not against Brentford, sorry, against another league side. And I think that Ndoye is going to start, and I would start him probably against Burnley. I also thought about selling Sarr to Ndoye, to a Nottingham Forest midfielder, but I have double Burnley defense, so I don't really want to do that. And again, the next fixtures for Nottingham Forest, you can see them on the screen, I think, but are Burnley and Sunderland. So I would give them these 2 fixtures. Again, I have Milenkovic, who's playing against Burnley away. Not amazing. Nottingham Forest didn't keep a clean sheet this season, but there's no way I'm not going to start him, or I'm not even thinking about selling him or something like that. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I did. I don't know, guys, if you remember, but every time I forgot to turn the countdown for the deadline. Now, thank you so much, Godson Nadozi, for reminding me. So yeah, we're 2 hours till the deadline. I have Dubravka, Virgil van Dijk, Munoz, Lacroix, Xavi Simon, Semenyo, Salah, Reinders, Ekitike, João Pedro, Mateta. Bench is Raya. Okay, so you're starting Dubravka over Raya. Senesi, King, Esteve. With 1 free transfer and 2.3 million in the bank, which player should I play and captain? Okay, so you're benching Senesi. I would start Munoz, I would start Van Dijk, and I think that I would start Lacroix. So again, yeah, this is the defense I would pick also. Senesi is going to get probably defensive contributions, probably is going to get 3 or 4 points minimum. But I would start, I think, Munoz and Lacroix instead of him. Xavi, and also I would not start King. Yeah, this is how, again, if you ask me right now, probably if I had the decision to make, I would start Raya instead of Dubravka, because I think that Arsenal have a better chance than Burnley to keep a clean sheet against Manchester City. Now, I can't guarantee you that's going to happen, but I would start Raya. Again, nothing wrong with starting Dubravka. He has the better fixture. And in your case, I think that I would roll the transfer, because Liverpool is the kickoff, so maybe we're going to get some early team news. So wait here on the stream, Padayashi, because if Ekitike is going to start, I'm going to let you know if we find that information. And in that case, I would just roll the transfer and maybe look to sell him from next game week, because I'm expecting Isak to start for sure in game week 6, I think. Mitoma, Minte, Semenyo, who are you getting instead of Sar? The problem is I don't have the money to go for Semenyo. If we move here, I have 0.9 million in the bank, and if I'm going to sell Sar, I'm going to have 7.4. So yeah, I can't afford Semenyo. Now, also you saw it on my thumbnail. I'm thinking about Harvey Elliott, so don't get me wrong. I know it sounds crazy. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to go for Harvey Elliott, but I think that he's going to start. But I'm not sure I want to triple up on Aston Villa attack after they didn't score any goal in the first 4 game weeks. So currently, my favorite option is Xavi Simons, I think, because if we look here, yeah, 7.4 midfielders. I could go for Minte, I could go for Mitoma. I think that's okay. But the thing is, I have also Pedro Porro. So betting against Pedro Porro on my bench boost, it doesn't feel great. And also the fixture is not amazing or something like that for Brighton. Spurs were okay defensively this season. I don't want to go also for Anderson because it's playing against Burnley. I don't want to go for Njae. I don't want to go for Everton boys. Ahmad. Yeah, so it's between Mitoma, Xavi Simons probably, and Harvey Elliott. Other than that, yeah, Ndoye again could be a nice punt, but I have double Burnley defense, so yeah. Please let me know what would you do. In my case, again, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to wildcard in Game Week 6 after this deadline is going to be passed, so I need to think also about that, because if I'm going to transfer out Sar to another player, I need to think I need that player to have decent fixtures in case I don't use my wildcard, and that's why I'm also looking at Xavi Simons, because the next few fixtures for Spurs are pretty decent. in the next 3 at least. They're going to play also against Leeds. So yeah, I like Harvey Elliott as a punt against Sunderland. Probably is going to play as a number 10 for Aston Villa. So, but yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much. Okay, still have one free transfer. Should I use it? I just worked last week. Seems odd to change my player after one game week. You think Haaland will score since Arsenal defender looks tough so far? Personally, I don't think that Haaland is going to score, but you have Haaland not for this fixture, you have him for the next few fixtures. That's why I probably would not captain him. But again, it's Erling Haaland, so he can score against anyone. He's on penalties. As I said before, Van Igvan, I think that in your case, I would just roll the transfer. Also, because you wildcarded in Game Week 4, yeah, I think that I would roll the transfer and have more information in Game Week 6. Game Week 5, it's not the best week, from my opinion, to make transfers. I mean, almost all the fixtures are bad. Liverpool are playing against Everton, the Merseyside derby. Arsenal are playing against Manchester City. Manchester United are playing against Chelsea. So you know what I mean? All the fixtures are kind of meh at the moment. Njae carried my rank with 3 returns. Yeah, Njae was a good pick. I'm feeling a little bit bad about not going with him from Game Week 1 because he was in a lot of my drafts. If I was wildcarding next week and had that situation, I would get Garnacho this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure Garnacho is going to start. But yeah, Maresca was really positive in his press conference about him. So yeah, he could be a nice punt. So yeah. But how much is Garnacho? 6.4. Okay, so he's really cheap. Yeah, you're right. I can afford him. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 49 points average week. Maybe. Now let's move. I wanna see with you the latest news. If you didn't saw yesterday the press conferences, we have the time to do that. Okay, so I think that I'm going to go for Fantasy Football Scout because they are making a resume. Just my Chelsea bias. I think he scores versus United. Yeah, I mean, it would be really poetic for Garnacho to score against Manchester United, right? And also, it would be really funny. So, yeah, hopefully that's going to happen, to be honest with you. So, from Aston Villa, no major news. Boubacar Kamara is back. We know that Tielemans is going to be out for 1 or 2 weeks, something like that. And also, it seems like Lindelof is not going to be 100% to start, but yeah, nobody has Lindelof anyway. From Sunderland, again, Ballard and Zolefe should be available if you guys have some players from them. Moving to Manchester City, no injury updates in Pep Guardiola's embargoed press conference. John Stone was back on the grass ahead of Napoli. Rodri asked to come off in that match. Yeah, no injury news for Manchester City. Again, if we talk about Manchester City, at some point, maybe Foden is going to be back in our thoughts because he played the last 2 games for City. He was the best player in the Champions League. He was the man of the match. Again, if we can get a Foden who's going to play 90 minutes every gaming, that would be amazing. Now, not necessarily this week. I don't think that he's a great option this week because playing against Arsenal. But from Game Week 6 onwards, he could be a really nice punt if he's going to get the minutes. From Arsenal, Arteta usually... Yeah, I rolled then. Anyway, thanks for the reply. My messages. Have a nice game week and hope that we're gonna have good green arrows this week. Thanks again. Thank you so much, Van Igvan. I thank you for being here on the stream. Hopefully, I help you a little bit with my advice. I hope that you're going to get a green arrow. I hope everybody's going to get a green arrow who are in this chat. And yeah, thanks a lot for being here. If we talk about Arsenal, Arteta usually doesn't really help us in the press conferences. We know that. So Odegaard, Saka, and White are on modified training schedules, whatever that means, and are doubts for Game Week 5. So I think that nobody should be buying Odegaard, Saka, or White. Obviously, Saliba was on the bench midweek and is pushing to start. Personally, I think that Saliba is going to start because it's Manchester City. It's a huge game for Arsenal. So if you have Saliba, I would be tempted to start him, but at the same time, he could get some minutes off the bench maybe. Merino and Gyökeres are both fit. Okay. You think Bruno plays in the 10 finally today? I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, uh, in the most games he plays a deeper role. I don't know how that's going to change. Are there any injuries, new injuries to Manchester United to make me think he's going to get to play more advanced? Cunha and Mount are back fit. I'm not sure if they're going to start, but yeah, if they're going to start Cunha, Mbeumo, I'm just and Sesko is going to start probably. I don't think that he's going to play as a number 10, but who knows? Or obviously, also in some parts of the game, Bruno Fernandes is playing as a 10, even if even when he's starting as a, on a deeper role. Uh, 99 goals for United as well, 100 versus Chelsea. Sorry. I think that Manchester United is going to score probably, if I'm being realistic, against Chelsea. But also, I really rate Chelsea's defense, so I think that they have a chance of keeping a clean sheet. But yeah, if I was to predict the scoreline, probably it would be a 1-1, 2-2, or maybe 2-1 to Chelsea, something like that. This is what's crossing my mind at the moment. For Nottingham Forest, another really interesting piece of information. Murillo is a doubt for the trip to Burnley. Again, if you have Murillo, probably I would just probably I would start him, hoping that if he's going to start, he's going to play 90 minutes, and if not, he's just not going to take part in the game at all. Hi Callum L, thank you so much for joining the stream. Nico Williams, Esteve, or Diouf? Nico Williams. I would start Nico Williams in that case. I would take the better fixture, Callum. So yeah, this is all for Nottingham Forest. From Crystal Palace, another important news is that Adam Wharton and Eddie Nketiah are back, fit and available. Probably Wharton is going to start, and also Ismail Assar is back in training, and he is expected to start in Game Week 6. Now, probably he's not going to get a lot of minutes against Liverpool in Game Week 6, but one to monitor for sure. His first contribution was against Chelsea, an assist to Maguire. Oh, nice. Didn't know that. Nice, nice. It would be poetic for Bruno Fernandes to score against Chelsea, right? In that case. So, SAR, one to monitor for sure. Spurs, Thomas Frank revealed that Dominic Solanke is back on the grass and has been for 4 days. Game Week 5 comes too soon, however. So, again, if you have Richarlison, maybe start him, but again, Richarlison, I don't know, it's just a rotation risk. You just don't know when he's going to start. His minutes are not always great. So yeah, at some point Solanke is going to be back, so I would look to get rid of Richarlison in the future at least. Are you getting Haaland next week? Yes. Thank you so much for joining the stream, XTI 2020. Yeah, I'm going to have Haaland next week for sure against Burnley because I want to captain him. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be on a wild card or if I'm just going to use my transfers to get Haaland, but either way, I'm going to have Haaland next week, yeah, for sure. But actually, I'm suggesting to sell Haaland to get Haaland in Game Week 6, which forward should I sell from Ekitike, Mateta, or Joao, and should I replace Salah with 2-3 millions in the bank at the moment? So I think that from gaming 6 I would look to get rid of Ekitike because his minis are just not going to be great. And yeah, in gaming 6 I'm going to wildcard without Salah, or I'm going to use my transfers to sell Salah to Semenyo and Mateta to Erling Haaland. This is my strategy at the moment. But I want to wait and see what's going to happen today, what's going to happen tomorrow, if there aren't going to be any price drops, and then I'm going to activate or not my wildcard, probably on Sunday or something like that. So I think that from Gaming 6 you should sell Ekitike and at some point also Mateta, because yeah, the comments were just not very positive from Glasner. So I would sell Ekitike to Haaland next gaming, Padayashi in your case, and Mohamed Salah to Semenyo or something like that if you don't have him. Me too, triple captain. That's nice. Again, this is one thing to consider. If I'm going to use my transfers to get Haaland, probably I'm going to use my triple captain on him. If not, if I'm going to use my wildcard, then yeah, I can't use my triple captain. Now, I would really need your help also, guys, to give an opinion on my plans. So for Manchester United, Cunha and Mason Mount are back in the squad. I'm feeling more optimistic about Cunha starting than Mount starting. Dalot doesn't really matter. If you have Dorgu, probably is going to start, but yeah, it's against Chelsea. Strand Larsen, another really interesting option in FPL. He's looking like he's back now. This is sensible to start or not to start him in gaming 5 because he's not going to play 90 minutes, but for the future I think that he's probably the best for that price. Diakite also, if you have him, is in training but isn't yet 100% fit. And yeah, with Liverpool, it's tough. It's nice that Liverpool Everton is the first kickoff, so maybe we're going to get some early team news. If not, it is really hard at the moment to predict if they are going to start Isak or Ekitike. If I would bet right now, I would say that Ekitike is going to start and Isak to came in at 50, 60 minutes, something like that in the second half. But it could be the other way around. So yeah, Isak could start again, play 60 minutes and then be on the bench. Either way, if you have Isak, again, keep him. If you have Ekitike, I would keep him probably. So yeah, not a lot of things. That David Moyes failed to rule Vitaly Mikolenko and Braithwaite in or out. Okay, so Braithwaite at some point is going to come into the team if you have someone like Keane. Yeah. Also, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. It would be really appreciated. From Newcastle, Shar is going to be out. I think that he shared something on social media, so Shar is not going to play. Wissa out until after the October international break. Man United hard to call. Amorim needs a win and Mount has done well for him, especially versus Chelsea. He may start Mount. Yeah, I mean, if he's 100% fit, I think that he is going to start Mount, but I'm just not sure about his fitness at the moment. And with Cunha, Amorim said that Cunha, if he was to have the say, he would start last gaming. So that's why I think that Cunha is maybe a little bit ahead in terms of fitness than Mount. But yeah, with Chelsea, nothing new. Garnacho is ready to start, but yeah, we don't know if he's going to start. Palmer is okay. Yeah, the same. Delap, Colwill are out. For Brighton, De Kuiper has avoided serious injury and could even be fit for Gaming 5. However, Herzler hinted that Kadioglu would be marking Kudus, so yeah. Okay, so now I want to move a little bit to show you my plans, and also if you guys, you can give your opinion on this. So I have one free transfer. I'm going to sell Sar to play my bench boost, and let's say I'm going to buy Xavi Simons, right? And yeah, this is how my bench boost is going to look like. And Sanchez instead of Dubravka. So Dubravka, Ryan, this is Esteve, Pedro Porro. Okay, so until now, all good. I'm going to use my bench boost in Game Week 5. It's not great, it's not amazing, it's not horrible. I just want to use it. And also I'm going to have 0.4 millions in the bank after this. And in Game Week 6, what I can do is either to wildcard or take a hit to sell Mateta to Haaland and Mohamed Salah to Semenyo, right? I think that this is the easiest straightforward move you're going to see. And if we make those transfers, this is how my team is going to look like in Game Week 6. And here I can play Richards, maybe Anderson instead of Richards. Sanchez against Brighton at home, Milenkovic against Sunderland, Pedro Porro, Xavi Simons against Wolves at home, Wirtz against Crystal Palace away, 2 players from Manchester City. I could also use my triple captain on Haaland, Semenyo against Leeds, Pedro and Watkins with decent fixtures. Now, I could get to that with a -4. Is it worth to use my wildcard? I just think that the team on paper looks really good for Game Week 6, even without using my wildcard. Now, please let me know about your opinion also. Hi, WF, thank you so much for joining. Hi, Leroy and Gu, thank you so much for joining, guys. Hey, Denis, start Youth or Konsa? I would start Konsa, I think. WF. Will Isak play first 11? Hi Shahrul Anwar. I can't guarantee that at the moment. I think that Ekitike is going to start, but if you can wait on the stream, maybe we're going to get some early team news since Liverpool are going to be the first game today against Everton. So if you can stay on the stream, I'm going to let you know if we can have that information. Personally, I think that Ekitike is going to start, but I could be easily wrong. It's pretty much a 50-50 situation. I think Ekitike should start because Isak played in the Champions League. The same, Padayashi, this is the same. And also Isak felt a little bit his fitness after playing 60 minutes in the Champions League, considering that he didn't have any preseason. So yeah. Hi boss, do I captain Palmer or Haaland? I am an Arsenal fan. Yeah, in that case, Leroy, I would just captain Palmer. I already think that Haaland is not a great captaincy option against Arsenal because you guys, Arsenal, are the best defense in the Premier League. I don't think that he's going to get a lot of chances. But yeah, if you're an Arsenal fan, also, yeah, I think that I would just captain Palmer and save yourself some stress. So yeah, now this is how my team would look like for Game Week 6 without using my wildcard. Please let me know what do you think about it. Me personally, on paper, I think that this is a good team. The only problem is I'm going to take it, I'm going to have it with a -4, but also I can triple captain Haaland. So yeah, I need to stay on top on my league. I'm currently 1.1 millions. That's great. I'm with you on that. I had taking -4s, but my bet is a Haaland hole, and if I triple captain him and he gets a couple of goals, I'll be fine with a -4. If he blanks, won't be happy. Yeah, obviously. Hi, Lecky. Thank you so much for joining. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining the stream. So XTA, sorry. The only problem is I'm going to take some price drops again, and I already took some price drops because I didn't activate my wildcard, for example, in Game Week 5. But I just think that the fixtures look okay for my team, and if we move to Game Week 7, I'm going to have Rodgers, Watkins against Burnley. I'm going to have Pedro Porro, Xavi Simons against Leeds. I could play Dubravka against Aston Villa. Haaland, João Pedro. Wirtz against Chelsea is not amazing, but yeah, I could even bench Wirtz here. So yeah, the team for Game Week 6 and 7 is not looking that bad. The only problem is if I want to lose more team value than I already lost. And yeah, maybe just wildcard in Game Week 8, because from Game Week 8, yeah, the problem is I would not have uh, Arsenal players, but I could save three free transfers to Game Week 7 if I don't want to make any. So again, at the moment, this is my dilemma: to wildcard in Game Week 6 or to wait a little bit more. Hi, Rocky. Thank you so much for joining. Dubravka, Vicario, Lacroix, Romero, Gabriel, Senesi, Rodon, Palmer, Eze, Gakpo, Semenyo, Mateta Sar, Haaland, Thiago, João Pedro, wildcard this week. Lacroix, Romero, Gabriel, I like. Senesi, Rodon, Palmer, Eze. I don't really like Eze against Manchester City, but that's not a surprise. Gakpo, Semenyo. Also, I'm not sure if I would have Sar from Tottenham on a wild card. I would go for Dewsbury Hall or Harvey Elliott or other cheap midfielder. I would go probably for Reinders on a wild card. But other than that, it looks okay. Maybe Gyökeres. You bench boost this week, feel strong on Burnley keeping a clean sheet. I mean, I don't feel so strong about them keeping a clean sheet, but I think that there is a chance. And Burnley, to be honest with you, play really good against Liverpool. They almost got a clean sheet against Liverpool, so what we're talking about. And yeah, Nottingham Forest didn't impress me this season. Esteve maybe is going to get defensive contributions. If they're not going to keep a clean sheet, again, Esteve is going to get some def cons. Dubravka maybe is going to get some save points. So I'm happy enough with that, coming from a 4 million goalkeeper and a 4 million defender. So yeah, if they're going to keep a clean sheet, that's just amazing. If not, it's fine. Your team looks good. I sold Wirtz for Semenyo a few days ago. My main question is how long to keep Oli. I'm saving my wildcard for later. I mean, again, this is also why I want to see how Aston Villa are going to play against Sunderland, because if Rodgers and Watkins are going to blank against Sunderland, I just don't think that I can keep them, and probably I'm just going to activate my wildcard. If Wirtz, if for example Wirtz, Rodgers, Watkins, Mateta, these players are going to blank, I'm going to feel it really hard to not wildcard them out. But if they are going to be okay, again, I would be happy to keep Watkins against Fulham and against Burnley until Game Week 7. So yeah, and then obviously just move Watkins to Gyökeres if you want, or other strikers. So yeah, my team looks good on paper, I know, but it's not working out lately, and my team value is just dropping every day. So yeah, this is a problem. My team value at the moment is 99.3 and 0.9 in the bank, so not great. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, now you can see my team. Would you play Verbruggen versus Spurs or Dubravka versus Forest? Honestly, I think that I would play Dubravka. I mean, I think that both those teams are likely to concede, right? So Brighton, I think that they can concede against Spurs, and also Burnley against Forest. I just think that Forest were worse than Spurs. Both teams are playing at home. I would take my chance with Dubravka, I think, in that case. I have Murillo, Dorgu, Elanga, so definitely not worth bench boosting, but should I start Dorgu or Esteve, Elanga or Reinders, Sanchez or Dubravka? Again, as you can see from the screen, I would start Sanchez, I think, instead of Dubravka, because I would just go with the better defense in Chelsea. I would start Murillo. Hopefully he's going to play Mbez. Dorgu or Esteve? That's a tough question. I think that I would start Esteve in that case. Maybe he's going to get defensive contributions. Dorgu could get some attacking returns, but at the same time could not. And maybe it's a higher chance of Manchester United conceding, I would say, than Burnley. So yeah, I would go for Esteve in that case. Elanga or Reinders is tougher. I think that if you have Elanga, I would just start him. I know that he was benched in some games. You just don't know how his minutes are going to be. But also Reinders is playing against Arsenal away. I don't think that City are going to score a lot of goals against Arsenal. And then you're just looking at the maximum 3 points or 5 maybe if he's going to get an assist or something like that. I think that I would take my chance with Elanga against Bournemouth. But if you want to take the risk, if you want to just go for the player who's going to start and play good minutes, probably just go for Reinders. If you want to take a risk, I would go for Elanga. So sorry if you already covered it, but what would you would your wildcard team roughly look like? I'm going to post also a video later today. I made yesterday a wildcard team to see how I'm going to change my thinking after Game Week 5 fixtures are going to be over. But yeah, I can give you a sneak peek here. So let's move to Game Week 6. I will have Raya or Donnarumma. I'm not yet sure which one. I'm going to have Gabriel, Haaland, okay. Watkins probably is going to be Gyökeres, although I'm not 100% sure on Gyökeres at the moment. This is how I'm thinking at the moment. Now, yeah, this could change, obviously. Let's say Harvey Elliott. Pedro Porro would be Senesi. Rogers would be, I don't know, maybe Njae or something like that. I'm not sure if I can afford it, but yeah. So Raya, Gabriel, Gyökeres at the moment, this is how I'm thinking about the Game Week 6 wildcard. Again, it's not amazing, the fixture against Newcastle away, but I want to have Arsenal players from Game Week 7 onwards. Haaland and Reinders. João Pedro, I have him in my team. I have some value tied in him, so maybe I'm just going to keep him. Other alternatives are Evan Nilsson or Strand Larsen if he's going to be fit, if I want to upgrade elsewhere. Richards probably is going to go. Now, I don't know if I can afford someone like Van de Ven, but he is going to be a consideration. So yeah, roughly, yeah, I'm going to sell Esteve. Roughly, wildcard draft for Game Week 6, something like that. I'm not sure about Palmer. I'm not sure about Gyökeres. What I'm sure about is I want to have double Arsenal defense long term. Cool, we'll check it out. Thanks. No problem, XTI. Thank you so much for watching my content. Hi, Sol Milfuegos. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I took a minus 32 by accident. If I use wildcard now, do I get my points back? Yes, yes. In that case, I think that you should activate your wildcard. You can use a free hit or a wildcard to cancel those hits. So if you think that a free hit would be better, you can use your free hit, but probably not, right? At this point, just use your wildcard for Game Week 5. And yeah, if you're going to activate the wildcard, you're going to get those points back. So yeah, something like that on a wildcard. Again, someone like Sar could be okay. Someone like Dewsbury Hall could be okay. I would love to have 3 players from Manchester City, in particular in Game Week 6 against Burnley. But I don't know how to do it yet. Having also 3 players from Arsenal. So yeah, roughly this would be a wildcard team. Thanks, man. No problem, Solmin Fagos. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you're going to get a green arrow. And also, if you're interested, I uploaded this week a wildcard video also for Game Week 5. So maybe you can take some inspiration from there if you want to check it out. Okay, so now Thank you so much, guys, for all the likes, for all the subscriptions. If you want to follow me also on social media, you can do that. You have the links into my description. Now, what I want to show you now is to see the predicted lineups for all the teams. Wait, even if you confirm the -32 hit, you can get your points back by wildcarding. Yeah, I think, yeah, you can make transfers. You can make how many transfers you want. Now, correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. You can make which transfers you want, and then if you're going to activate the wildcard or the frit, those transfers are going to be cancelled, basically. So you're not going to get a -32 hit. Now, this is what I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're going to take a look now at some lineups predictions, and here is an account who is really good at them. Jump the Wave on Twitter or /X. So they have here the Chelsea predicted the lineup against Manchester United, and they don't have. Now again, this is not 100% guaranteed or something like that. It is just a lot of fans from these teams, and I'm going to let you know when I think they are going to be more right than not. About Chelsea, I'm not really sure, but also they are predicted to start Guyu. So yeah, I'm not sure about this prediction, to be honest with you. I think that still Joao Pedro is going to start there. And yeah, maybe one of Garnacho is going to start here on the wings. You think Isak will start? Hi, Emily. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm a little bit catching a cold, I think, but I'm okay. Thanks for asking. I don't think that Isak is going to start, but guys, let's wait a little bit to see if we're going to get any early team news. This is my opinion. As a Liverpool fan, if you want to take it or not, I think that Tiki Tiki is going to start this game, but I could be wrong. It is pretty much a 50-50 decision there. Hi FPL MFZ, thanks so much for joining. Any idea when to bench boost? I'm going to use my bench boost in Game Week 5. If not, there are going to be more weeks to do that. You just need to ask you the question when your when your bench is going to look better. If not, I would just use the bench boost and get it out of the way. Now I am sad that I didn't prepare my team to just use my bench boost in Game Week 1 and be done with it. That would probably be the best way to use it. But yeah, good to know for next year, right? Now for Manchester City, predicted lineup versus Arsenal. Donnarumma, Kusanov, Ruben, Guardiol, O'Reilly, Foden, Rodri, and Reinders in midfield, Bernardo, Haaland, and Doku. This is the predicted lineup. If you guys want to take a punt on someone like Foden, personally, I don't think that it's the best week to take a punt, but on Foden when they're playing against Arsenal, but yeah. So, one guy asked me about Elanga, and I said that I would start him. I have Haaland and Palmer. Which one will be your captain? I think that I would captain Palmer. In that case, I really don't like Haaland against Arsenal away. Now again, I don't have him into my team, so maybe I didn't thought so much about it. If you want to go safe, just go Haaland. He's going to play close to 90 minutes on penalties. With Palmer, there are little doubts. I think that personally he's going to start against Man United, but I could be wrong there. So if you don't want to take any risks, just captain Haaland. He always has a chance of scoring. So yeah. So Newcastle predicted lineup: Murphy, Voldemort, Elanga in attack. And yeah, Livramento. Shar is not going to start. Shar posted on social media that he's not going to play this game, so ignore that. Okay, so Um, uh, uh, uh. So for Liverpool, as I would predict, probably. Uh, Now I'm not sure who's going to start as a right back for Liverpool. I'm not sure if it's going to be Soboslai or not, but what I think is that Ekitike is going to start. They are also predicting the same thing. Hi Raul, thank you so much for joining. Uh, so yeah, this is how I would say Liverpool are going to start most likely. But bear in mind, guys, Liverpool is the first kickoff, so let's wait and see if we're going to get any team news. Gakpo, Ekitike, Salah front three, Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberg. With Soboslai, as you can see from the screen, 45% chance. Maybe Frimpong is going to start there. So yeah. Hi, Gavin Hartzenberg. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining the stream. Harlotsville also. So everybody is joining the stream now. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for joining. Good morning. How are you? We're at that part where we're looking at the predicted lineups. So, Elliot or Rogers? To buy or to play? To buy, I don't know. I think that Elliot is going to be better value in the future than Rogers, but Rogers probably is better this week because he's going to get probably better minutes. But now, as you can see from the screen, we're seeing the Aston Villa predicted lineups, and this is from FPL Villain, which is an account who's almost a lot of the times right about how Aston Villa are going to start. Let's just say it like that. And they are having Elliot with 85% chance of starting. Also, I think that he's going to start. Tielemans is out injured, so maybe that's going to help. With Sancho, yeah, it's a 50-50 decision. But yeah, probably this is how Aston Villa are going to line up. Digne or Matson, we don't know there who's going to start. Konsa, Cash, no surprises. Hi Christian, Nikolov, thank you so much for joining the stream. 90 likes, thank you so much guys for, let's try to get to 20. And also hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. It would be really much appreciated. So I think that Elliot is going to start. That's why there's a thinking into my mind. I want to punt on Elliot and sell Sar to Elliot and bench boost Elliot, but I don't know. Are his minutes going to be that good? Probably not. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. Let me just check if we have any other early team news, but probably not at the moment. Yeah, okay. Back to my team. For the guys who joined later, I have one free transfer. I'm going to sell Sar. My favorite options at the moment are Xavi Simons, Mitoma, Harvey Elliott. Pretty much that's it. Please let me know what would you do, which player would you buy if you were in my case to sell Sar. I'm on bench, boost Dubravka, Dewsbury Hall, Foster, and Esteve on the bench. Yeah, I think that I would do that. I would use the bench boost just to get it out of the way. I just think that I am at the moment, this is the state of the game. I just want to use my bench boost and be done with it. So I'm going to have less concerns to think about in the future. And also, I don't think that's a bad bench boost. Dubravka, Ryan, this Pedro Porro, Esteve. Yeah, it is what it is. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. But I don't know when I'm going to have a better bench boost, so I might as well just use it now. Can you not get Semenyo? I can't. I can't get Semenyo. I don't have the money. Probably I would do that if I had the money. Although I don't think that the fixture is amazing for Semenyo. against Newcastle. Now he's a great pick for the future, definitely. And if Kluivert is not going to start, he's also going to be on penalties, so he's a great pick, yeah. If I made the switch Sar to Semenyo 1 week earlier, probably I would be able to afford it, but now I just can't. Semenyo also just rise in price again last night, so yeah, I can't do that. I can afford a 7.4 million midfielder, so yeah. Saving free transfer this week and wildcarding next week. Will I get my safe transfer next week? Yeah, if you're going to save a transfer this week, you're going to have 2 free transfers for next week. And if you're going to wildcard in game week 6, in game week 7, you're going to get the same amounts you had before game week 6, if that makes sense. So how many free transfers you're going to have before using the wildcard is how many free transfers you're going to have after using the wildcard. So if you're going to have 2 free transfers next week and activate wildcard, you're going to have 2 free transfers also. So the free transfers are going to be saved. You can save 5, 4, 3, any number of free transfers if you use the wildcard, but that's not going to add one more. Who to start, Diouf versus Crystal Palace or Esteve? I think that I would start Esteve. Although, I don't know, Crystal Palace are not amazing in attack at the moment without Sar, without Eze. Diouf is more attacking. With Esteve, I would be more confident on getting 3 or 4 points, even if they're going to concede. That's why probably I would start Esteve. But if you want to take the upside, if you want to go for the attacking fullback, I probably would go for Diouf. Maybe there's also a chance for West Ham to keep a clean sheet there. Yeah, it's a tough. If you want to go safe for the 3-4 points, go Esteve. If you want to take a punt, to catch the upside, just go Diouf. I just have 1 free transfer this week. So basically I will have 3 free transfers in game week 7. No, if you're going to use your wildcard in game week 6, you're going to have 2 free transfers. Because you have 1 free transfer this week, you're going to save it, right? And you're going to have 2 free transfers in game week 6. But if you're going to use your wildcard, you're going to have the same amount. So you're going to have 2 free transfers in game week 7 if you're going to use a wildcard. If you're not going to use a wildcard, you're going to have 3 in game week 7. Now, again, probably I lost it at the moment and you didn't understood my answer, but how many free transfers you're going to have before using the wildcard represents how many free transfers you're going to have after using the wildcard. This is the easiest way I can explain it, so yeah. If Watkins and Rodgers fail to score again, wildcard game week 6 for sure, otherwise we'll continue with them. Yeah, that's the same. That's the same I'm thinking at the moment. I want to wait to see how the games are going to be played today and tomorrow. If there aren't going to be any more price drops or something like that, I'm not going to activate my wildcard till Sunday. But yeah, if Watkins, Rodgers, Wirtz, all these players are going to blank, I'm just going to get rid of them. I don't really care. They have amazing fixtures. I had enough. I don't want to take more price drops. This is the real problem with me, with wildcarding or not in game week 6 or 8 or whatever. Hi Dennis, hi FPL guy, thank you so much for joining. Hi, so bench Reinders or Konsa? I would start Konsa. I think usually I like to start the attacker, but in that case, Reinders against Arsenal away is the worst fixture he's going to have all season. I don't think that Manchester City are going to score loads of goals against Arsenal, right? So I would start Konsa because I think that there's a good chance of Aston Villa keeping a clean sheet against Sunderland. I know it is boring, but I would start Konsa probably if I was in your place, FPL guy. This might be risky, but what about Gibbs White against Burnley? I mean, not risky. I'm not going to buy him because I have double Burnley defense, so I don't really want to buy Nottingham Forest midfielder. He could be okay. Again, he's not on penalties. He could be on some set pieces. He's a nice option for this game week, but long term, I don't really want to have someone like Gibbs White at the moment. When we're figuring out how Nottingham Forest are going to play, I just don't want to. The fixtures are not going to get better for Nottingham Forest, are going to get worse from game week 7 onwards. So, in the long run, I don't want to have Nottingham Forest players, I'm going to be honest. As a punt, I think that's okay. If you think that he's going to start. Hi Simon Lee, good afternoon, good morning for me. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Start Raya or Dubravka? I would start Raya. Also, let me just guys make a poll to see. Let's ask the chat. Let's see what the chat is thinking. Start Raya or Dubravka? Personally, I would go for Raya for the better defense. But yeah, nothing wrong with going with Dubravka. Okay, thanks. No problem, FPL guy. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Hopefully that's going to help. If you are going to wildcard in Game Week 6, why not save the SAR transfer and bench boost in Game Week 7? I'm not sure if I'm going to wildcard in Game Week 6. That's the thing. And yeah, if I'm going to use my wildcard in Game Week 6, I'm going to lose the bench boost possibility. Now again, if we look at my team, I could use the bench boost in Game Week 6, but as you can see, Dubravka against Manchester City away, Esteve against Manchester City away. No, Burnley are going to have is the best fixture against Nottingham Forest in Game Week 5. That's why I want a bench boost, or in Game Week 8. But yeah. Hey Dennis, hi Steve, thank you so much for joining. I can do Wirtz, Bruno, Watkins, and Rogers. Okay, to Haaland, Semenyo, and Jay Kudus for -4. This is purely to get Haaland in. I'm left with 0 in the bank. The thing is, Steve, I would not get Haaland this game week. I don't think so. I think that Watkins is better than Haaland this game week. I know it sounds maybe crazy, but I would not take a hit to sell Watkins to Haaland. Now, long term, I like him. If you can delay the transfer to buy Haaland in Game Week 6, that would be amazing. If you want to just do that right now, then it's fine. Also, I think that Bruno is okay for the next few fixtures. If you're going for a Brighton midfielder, I would prefer Minte over Mitoma. He also has a good record against Spurs. Okay. Yeah, the only problem is I have Pedro Porro, so I kind of don't want to go for betting against Pedro Porro, but yeah, I'm well aware that Spurs can concede in that fixture. Hey mate, hi Radim Brown, thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you so much guys for being here on the stream. It really means a lot and I really appreciate it. Would you captain Mateta this week? If you don't have any other options, yeah, I think that he's going to start, but I think that his minutes are going to be reduced. Maybe he's going to play 60, 70 minutes. So probably not the best captaincy option, Mateta. If you have other players like Salah, João Pedro, Palmer, Watkins, even Watkins, yeah, I would captain them ahead of Mateta. I wanted to do Palmer in and Rogers out, but due to Guyu, I can't. 3 Chelsea players due to loan callback. Yeah, if you have 3 players already, you need to sell one of them. That's how it works, sadly for you. Yeah, I know, it's really frustrating, FPL guy. You need to start saving maybe some transfers to get rid of that problem. Start 3 defenders, Munoz, Curelia, Porro, Senesi, Goodmanson. I would start Porro, I think. Munoz for sure. And Cucurella, I think. Now again, Goodmanson has the better picture if you wanna take a punt, but I would go for the upside of Munoz. Cucurella, I think that is going to start against Man United. The chances for a clean sheet are not amazing or something like that, but he's getting in some good positions, so you can get some attacking returns from Cucurella. And between Pedro Porro, Senesi, it's tough. I think that there's a chance both of them are going to concede. Now, if you put it like that, in that case, I would just start Senesi because of the defensive contribution points. But it feels bad to bench Porro. I don't know. I'm in printing and publication business in Mumbai, India. What is your profession, make? Really nice, Raul. Congrats on that. I'm a financial analyst, so I should be better at FPL, right? At analyzing prices and something like that. I'm in banking. This is my profession at the moment. Now, I don't know if this is going to be my if I'm going to be in banking always, but at the moment this is what I'm doing. Hi boss Ahil, thank you so much for joining. Hi Florin also. Hi Abdurman, thank you so much guys for joining the stream, really appreciated. Really nice publication business, sounds great, Raul, so congrats on that. Evan Nilsson or Valdemart on wildcard. I have Semenyo already. I would go for Evan Nilsson, I think, because Voldemort is just not fully fit to play a lot of games for Newcastle, and his minutes are not going to be great once Wisa is going to be back. Now, Wisa probably is not going to be back till October, but that's not that long to wait. So I think that I would go for Evan Nilsson, Bossa Hill, but not as frustrating as Rogers and Watkins 2 points run for 4 gamings. Yeah, I know that, FPL guy, I feel you. Trust me, I know the pain with having Wirtz, Rogers, Watkins for 4 gamings. Start 1, Agbadu, Pedro Porro on Reinders. If you think that Agbadu is going to start, I would start him, but it seems like a lot of Wolverhampton fans are having doubts about Agbadu starting, so in that case, I would start Pedro Porro, I think, instead of Reinders, although it doesn't feel great. I just feel bad to bench Pedro Porro. I know he's not on set pieces anymore, but he's still an attacking defender, so yeah, I don't know. Hi Florin also, thanks so much for joining. Konsa or Nico Williams? Now that's tough. I mean, in an ideal world, I would start both of them. I think that I would go for Nico Williams because he may be better for defensive contribution points at least, and he's more attacking than Konsa, but both of them are great for this week, I think. Munoz could be sold differential captain. I mean, yeah. Yeah, if you want to take a punt, if you want to go super different, if you want to go crazy, Munoz could be a decent one. He has some chances to keep a clean sheet. Crystal Palace are a great defense. He's decent for defensive contributions, and we know that he's usually really attacking. So, yeah, Radim Brown, you're saying something there. He could be a nice... Of course, he's going to be a differential captain. Not a lot of people are going to captain Munoz. Yeah, if you want to take a super punt, yeah. I have Munoz and Porro. I can't bench them. Yeah. Yeah, for sure you can't bench Munoz. Porro, the same thing as I said before. I feel bad. I would feel bad to bench Pedro Porro, but on paper probably Konsa and Nico Williams have better chances of keeping a clean sheet. So yeah, tough. You could maybe use your bench boost Florin if you have a decent squad. Let's see if we get any news. 1 hour till the deadline. I think that we cover pretty much everything it is needed to be covered for Gaming 5. Also, let's see the poll. So, 58%, so it's really close. It is a really close decision. So yeah, 58% would start Raya over Dubravka. Now this is just 12 votes, so not a big... I think we'll play Konsa just because he's playing tomorrow. Nice. Rogers out, Semenyo in. I don't think that I would do that. I mean, if you didn't make that transfer early last week, Semenyo rised in price already twice. So at this point, I think that I would just keep Rogers for this week and look to buy Semenyo in other way from next week onwards. I don't think that the fixture is great for Rogers against Newcastle. Again, if you ask me right now, I would bet that not that Semenyo is going to blank against Newcastle. I'm not saying that, but it is a chance of that to happen. I think that Newcastle have a good chance of keeping a clean sheet against Bournemouth, but yeah, Semenyo is in form. He could be on penalties. He's a great long-term transfer, but no, if you ask me, I would not transfer out Rogers to Semenyo. That doesn't feel great just for me. Wirtz or Gakpo better? Again, in the first 4 games of the season, Gakpo was better. What's going to happen in the future, we don't know. Wirtz definitely was the most frustrating pick probably because he's more more expensive than Rogers. He's just playing better every gaming. Again, I need to decide if I'm going to use my wildcard or not in gaming 6, but for gaming 5, I'm just going to keep Wirtz. If you have money, if you can go for someone like Palmer, I probably would do that. Or you can just sell Wirtz to Semenyo, but if you didn't do that last night, I think that I would just keep Wirtz for now. Gakpo overall looks like the better pick from the first 4 gamings of the season, but be aware that at some point his minutes maybe are not going to be that great. Now at the moment I think that Gakpo is nailed as a left winger for Liverpool, but Ekitike is going to get some minutes and we just don't know if that's going to be on the left or instead of Isak. Mateta or Wood for this gaming. Oh, you're on a wild card. On a wild card, to be honest with you, probably I would not go for neither of them. I would not go for Wood because in the long term the fixtures are bad for Nottingham Forest, and I think that he can drop. He is going to be dropped maybe at some point at Nottingham Forest, so I would not go for Wood on a wild card. And also, I don't think that I would go for Mateta on a wild card, to be honest with you, because it doesn't matter that Crystal Palace lost maybe some creativity with Eze, with Ismail Assar. Ismail Assar is going to be back anyway. So, but Mateta is on panel. So if you want me to pick between those two, I would pick Mateta on a wild card. But the comments from Glasner that Mateta is going to need a break at some point would put me off maybe a little bit about going Mateta on a wild card, I think. And the fixtures are just not amazing. They're going to play against Liverpool in 6 and against Arsenal in 9 or something like that. So, yeah. If you're in finance and banking, you must be dealing with markets. How much do you think markets affect FPL? Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not that of an expert to answer you that question. I just change my job at the moment. I'm mostly I worked in retail in banking. Now for the last 2 months I moved and now I'm working in on corporate, so with firms. But I didn't get all the knowledge now to answer you that question. So yeah, sorry about Raul. I'm just learning at the moment. My new position, let me just say it like that. I'm more of a support financial analyst. Let me just say it like that. Should I sell Semenyo? and buy Ekitike. No, for sure not, Emery. No, why would you sell Semenyo? And why would you buy Ekitike? No, Ekitike is going to lose his place real soon at Liverpool because Isak is going to be the starting number 9. So yeah, I would not sell Semenyo, for sure not, and I would not buy Ekitike, for sure. Hi Hashiraktar, good to see you here. Good morning, man. Thanks so much for joining the stream, really appreciate it. Hello Dennis, are you going for bench boost? Yeah, I just want to get it out of the way. I just need to figure it out which player I'm going to buy. I'm going to sell Sar, and my favorite players at the moment, my favorite replacements are Xavi Simons, Mitoma or Minte from Brighton, or Harvey Elliott if I feel super lucky. But all week, to be honest with you, I thought about Xavi Simons. He was my pick. Maybe I should stick with that. Maybe it's going to be just a 1 week punt. Maybe it's going to be long term, and I like the fixtures for Spurs for the next 2-3 game weeks at least. And then the thing is, I'm going to use my wildcard. I just don't know if I'm going to use it in game week 6 or game week 8, or maybe I'm going to delay it even more. Probably not, because I want to have Arsenal players at some point. That is the thing. How is your game week 8 bench boost looking if not wildcard in game week 6? That's the thing. If I'm going to not wildcard game week 6, probably I'm going to wildcard in game week 8. If we go to game week 8, I know that Burnley are going to play against Leeds, so this would be another chance for me to use my bench boost. But at this point, again, I could even keep Sar if I'm not going to use my bench boost in game week 5. So this is how my team would look like. Now, obviously, that's with 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have 4 free transfers, so I could make some changes definitely here. Maybe have someone like Gabriel instead of Milenkovic, someone like Gyökeres here. Probably I would sell Wirtz, but I just don't know. Arsenal is going to play Anderson is going to play against Arsenal, Rodgers against Tottenham, so probably I just would use my bench boost now in game week 5 and get it out of the way, because also I think that I'm going to use my wildcard in 6 or 8, because by game week 8 I really want to have some Arsenal players, and yeah, Palmer maybe. So I think that this is the best week for me to use my bench boost. And yeah, it's more like I want to get it out of the way more than being such an amazing bench boost. But definitely I don't think that's terrible. On wildcard, I've Haaland and Pedro, who should be my third striker. On a wildcard, again, you're wildcarding in game week 5, right? If you want to go early on Arsenal players, you could go for someone like Gyökeres. Now, I'm not sure if you can afford him with your team. If I'm going to wildcard in game week 6, I'm going to have a front line of Haaland, Gyökeres, João Pedro, something like that. Or you can have another cheap striker. You could take a punt on someone like Strand Larsen, who maybe is going to start in game week 5. Or someone like Evan Nilsson. So these are pretty much the option I would go for. If we go here to, yeah, you can't really see. So if we choose forwards here, prediction. These are just prediction, guys. So 5 to 10. As I said before, João Pedro, Gyökeres, Haaland. Yeah, Mateta here is predicted to be okay, but I would not go for Mateta. I think, yeah, Evan Nilsson or Strand Larsen are, at least from game week 6, 2 really decent options on wildcard, I would say, instead of João Pedro, instead of Gyökeres. Someone like Isak could be an option from game week 6 onwards. And yeah, someone like Thiago if you want to save up some cash. But pretty much these are the options. I don't think that I would go elsewhere. Archan Bat. I myself don't believe in market-based predictions. I believe in 5 free transfers. On Friday, I make transfers on basis on fitness, form, fixtures. And then I say, these are my 5 free transfers. Yeah. Keep up the good work, FPL Dennis. Goodson, Nadozi, thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you so much for your kind words. It really means a lot. And I really appreciate you guys for being here on the stream. Thanks a lot for being here. If you're leaving, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new here, guys. We have 50 minutes till the deadline, so I should think a little bit about which player I'm going to buy, right? If I don't have Salah, should I captain Palmer? I think that probably I would do that if you don't have any other options. If you have Watkins, I think that I would just captain Watkins for the vibes, right? Let's see if we have any news. Yeah, nothing new yet. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Arshan Bat, for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. And it really means a lot. Good to see you here always, guys. And Liverpool team news? Not yet, but I was just looking on Twitter. Yeah, what is your rank, mate? I've got 120k last time, but only 6 million now. You can see it on the stream. My overall rank is here. Here, yeah. Here down on the left, 3.7 millions. This is probably my worst start ever. Yeah, I don't really care too much about my rank in the first few gamings of the season usually, but definitely this is not the place I would like to be. My last rank, also my last season rank, last season was my best ever, was 4k. And I was really close on getting that top 1k finishing, but yeah, wasn't to be. Maybe this year, right? Or maybe next year. Also, Brognan, Sprunagula, thank you so much for joining the stream also. Yeah, but Cunha and Mount is back in the training. I mean, I would not worry too much about Cunha and Mount being in training. If you think that Palmer is a good captain against Manchester United, Cunha is not going to make a difference on that, if you know what I mean. Manchester United were bad. Again, I think that they're going to be better than they played against how they played against Manchester City, because United are going to play at home. They're going to get to be better against Chelsea. But Palmer could score, right? He's on penalties, on set pieces. He could deliver against Manchester United. Some would say that Manchester United is a good fixture for the Chelsea players, but yeah, I don't totally fully agree with that. Steve, I have 3 free transfers and I have no idea what to do. I could swap out Bruno for Semenyo and improve my bench for bench boost. If you have 3 free transfers, if you're happy with your bench, yeah, I would do that. Bruno to Semenyo feels okay now. It's frustrating you didn't make that move earlier because he got some price rises, so you lost some price changes there. But yeah, Bruno to Semenyo, long term I think that looks okay. Thank you so much, Bruno Sprunagula. Yeah, was amazing. Was great to be in those ranks last season. Now yeah, hopefully I'm going to get there sometime. in the future. Hi Thomas Nielsen, thank you so much for joining the stream. Replacement suggestions for Elanga. Next 4 or 5 game weeks have 0.9 in the bank. So what price are we looking? Let me just see here. Elanga is 7 millions, right? So you have 7.9 millions in the bank. For the next, let's say for the next 4 or 5 game weeks, and 7.9, let's say. Again, you have Semenyo probably, right? If not, I would just go for Semenyo, sell Elanga to Semenyo, straightforward option. Eze at some point could be a nice option, but not. I don't think that Gaming 5 is the right time to buy Eze. Other than that, if you don't have Reinders, Harvey Elliott could be nice at 5.4 millions. Dewsbury Hall could be great. Probably I would go for someone like Njae or just wait one more game week and then buy Njae or maybe Ismail Assar. I don't think that Game Week 5 is the best week in general to make transfers because the fixtures are just meh, just bad for almost all the teams. So yeah. Also, who would you start between Burn and Poro? I think that I would start Poro. Wait a second. Newcastle are a better defense. Maybe not. I think that I would start Pedro Poro in that case. But yeah, Burn has more attacking threat from set pieces. He's better for defensive contribution. So not an easy decision anyway. I think that I would start Pedro Poro, and I'm sorry in advance for all the guys who asked me about this. I said a lot of times I would start Pedro Poro. I just think that feels bad to bench Pedro Poro. So I don't know. I still think that he has some attacking threat, even if he's not going to be on some set pieces. What do you think of Evan Nilsson as a long-term pick? Bournemouth features are decent long-term. I think that he's great. Again, I think that Semenyo is better now with the penalties, but yeah, the fixtures are great for Bournemouth. I think that Evan Nilsson is going to be a consideration also for me if I'm going to wildcard in 6 or not. Evan Nilsson, Strand Larsen, these two are the best cheapish forwards from my point of view, long term at least. Obviously, if Strand Larsen is fit to play. And yeah, I like him. Again, I'm not sure if it's the best way to triple up on Bournemouth with Senesi, Semenyo, Evan Nilsson, but for sure it looks like it. I mean, they are playing good. They are having decent fixtures. They are decent defensively and offensively. So yeah, I like Evan Nilsson. Also, he's cheaper than Wood and Mateta. Probably I would go for Evan Nilsson right now instead of Wood or Mateta. Steve, and thank you for all the advice. Thank you so much for joining the stream. It really means a lot, and hopefully my advice is going to help you a little bit. Oh, Eliker FC, sorry, I didn't saw your second question. Are thinking about moving Salah onto Haaland if he disappoints again. I'm looking to move to Haaland anyway in Game Week 6, to be honest with you, because I want to have Haaland to be my captain against Burnley in Game Week 6. So, yeah. I mean, Salah scored last game week, so you can't really say that he disappointed that much, but I understand. Yeah, he wasn't great this season, but he got some returns, to be honest with you, but his form wasn't amazing. So yeah, I'm going to look to buy Haaland anyway in Game Week 6. Let me make another poll. So which chip are you going to use, guys? I'm really curious in Gaming 6, Wildcard, Freight, or Triple Captain, because I think that these three are going to be the most popular uh, chips. Hi Lucas, thank you so much for joining. Who should I captain between Salah, Wood, and Watkins? For sure, I would go straight to Mohamed Salah. I know it's an early kickoff, it's not amazing against Everton also, but it's at home. Mohamed Salah showed in the Champions League that he can still play football, right? And he can still score goals. In 5 minutes, he got an assist and a goal against Atletico Madrid, which is not the easiest team to play against for an attacker. Uh, Wood, I would not captain Wood because of the uncertainty. He has the best fixture for sure out of those three, but his minutes, I'm just not confident on his minutes. I think he's going to start, but I don't know if he's going to play 90 minutes. Probably not. Watkins, again, his form is not the best. And if you're talking about form, if you're thinking about captaining one of Salah and Watkins, let's say both of them are in really bad form, but Salah is in better form, obviously, and he's playing at home. So I would just captain Salah, I think, straightforward. Lucas, as you can see from the screen, I'm captaining Mohamed Salah. I think that this week, in particular, we don't have a lot of good captaincy options. Obviously, Haaland, Gyökeres are playing against each other. Palmer, João Pedro is playing against Man United. Bruno Fernandes is playing against Chelsea. So Salah Loki is kind of the best captain for this game week on paper. If you don't want to take a punt, if you want to go also a little bit safe. So yeah, Watkins definitely a great punt. If you want to go super different, Watkins could be amazing for you. But I don't know. I just don't want to take that risk. I'm just looking to see if we got any team news. But yeah, not looking like. Also, tomorrow is Isaac's birthday. If you think that is going to start today, uh, yeah, non-FPL related, really. Yeah, no news yet. Sanchez or Dubravka, better option. As you can see, I'm playing Sanchez instead of Dubravka. I think that this is what I would do. Also, if I had to decide between both of them, I picked my strongest 11 now. Obviously, Reinders is going to be on the bench, and Sar is going to be not Sar, but the player I'm going to buy for Sar is going to be starting. So this is going to be my strongest 11. I would play Sanchez instead of Dubravka. Again, I don't mind if you want to go different. Perfectly fine to go for Dubravka. He has the better fixture. Chelsea also are playing away to Manchester United at Old Trafford. So yeah, but I would just play with the better defense, which is Chelsea here. But it's a tough decision. Uh, 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 yeah, just looking to see if we get any news at all. We still have time. We still have time. 35 minutes till the deadline is over. So yeah. Also, I think that I'm going to activate my bench boost. Now, obviously, you can it can be cancelled at any time, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use it. You lose the first bench boost after the game week 19 deadline. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to activate it. I hope the cardio man will start against Everton Wirtz. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess there could be a question about Wirtz starting, but I don't know. He didn't play also 90 minutes almost in any game, so I think that he's good to start. Hopefully, he's going to get better minutes. I'm not sure if Everton is going to be the best game for him in terms of physicality. But yeah, I think that he will start now. Obviously, there could be some doubts. But again, if Isak is not going to... I don't think that Isak is going to start instead of Wirtz or something like that. So maybe they could start Frimpong and Soboslai in midfield with McAllister and Gravenberg. But I don't know. Why would you change something that works? And I know Wirtz in FPL was really bad, but in also Arne Slot praised Wirtz. Now obviously you can't say that he was bad when you pay that much money, but he improves. That is true every game week. So yeah, probably one to sell at the moment. Florin, if he's not going to score a hat trick or something like that against Everton, yeah, he's one to sell. He's definitely not worth the money at the moment, at least, and he's just getting a lot of price drops, which are really frustrating. So yeah, not amazing. Uh, 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 uh. Hi, the Data Accord. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really good to see you here. Wirtz and Elanga out for Palmer and Semenyo. 3 transfers at the moment. I mean, that sounds way better, right? If you have the money to do that, Wirtz and Elanga to Palmer and Semenyo, probably I would do it. I think the Data Accord. Salut Ionuț, Orzaru. Mersi că ai venit. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Start one, Reinders, Tarkovsky or Njae? Now that's a tough question. Usually I would start the attacker. I know Tarkovsky probably is going to get defensive contribution points, so he's going to get minimum 3 or 4 points. Deci Tarkovsky o să facă 3 sau 4 puncte minim și dacă o să ia gol Everton de la Liverpool. Dar cred că aș merge pe Njae. So yeah, I think that I would start Njae in that case. Reinders is having a worse fixture from my point of view for an attacker than Njae. Arsenal are better than Liverpool in defense, so I would start Njae. Also on penalties, it could happen for Everton to get a penalty against Liverpool. Cred că aș începe cu a juca cu Njae, dar yeah, I would start Njae. Is this your final team? No, I'm going to sell Sar to another midfielder, probably someone like Xavi Simons. I think at the moment this is where I'm leaning to. Please let me know, guys, which player would you buy instead of Sar at maximum 7.4 million. So I can't afford Semenyo. Stop asking that. Cam așa o gândesc și eu, căutam contraargumente. I mean, dacă nu era executant de penaltiuri în GE, probabil că... nu știu ce să zic. I would start in GE, Ionuț Orzaru, because he's on penalties pretty much. And yeah, he looked good. He looked good at Everton anyway. I don't think that it's going to be an easy fixture for Liverpool or something like that. Yeah, I can't afford Semenyo, Lucas. But yeah. I would pick Xavi Simons for Sar. Yeah, I think the same. Also, if I'm somehow deciding not to use my wildcard in Game Week 6, Xavi Simons have decent fixtures for Game Week 6 and 7. So, yeah, my favorite options are Xavi Simons, Mitoma maybe, but again, I don't want to play against Pedro Porro and Harvey Elliott, but probably triple Aston Villa attack is too much against Sunderland, although I think that Harvey Elliott is going to start. He's going to be on some set pieces. He's going to play as a number 10. Then, yeah, between Kudus and Xavi Simons, probably I would go Xavi Simons. To have a little bit some coverage in that Spurs game in attack. Or better, just play Pedro Porro and wildcard. Yeah, I can do that, but I also want to use my bench boost. And I know it's not amazing to use a transfer just to bench boost in Game Week 5 and wildcard in 6, maybe. But I want to get rid of it. I want to use my bench boost before wildcarding, so then I can concentrate on having just a strong starting 11 and maybe 1-2 players to play around. And also, I think that if I'm going to sell Sar to Xavi Simons, the bench boost doesn't really look that bad. I mean, yeah, it's Burnley, it's Dubravka and Esteve against Nottingham Forest, but it's at home at least. Burnley impressed me, to be honest with you, against Liverpool. Can they keep a clean sheet? Maybe. Pedro Porro against Brighton away could get some attacking returns, could get a clean sheet. And Ryan Dips, yeah, against Arsenal, probably that's just a 2 or 3 pointer, something like that, but who knows. Hi, Siberian Amur Tiger. Yo, bro, what's up? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Good morning. Who can I want to transfer? Johnson out. Useless player since I bought him after his paying spell. Yeah, I think that Johnson is one to sell, definitely at some point. He's just not getting the minutes. If you're talking about Johnson from Spurs. Who to sell him for? Semenyo, Njae, maybe wait one more gaming, because in Gaming 5 I just don't like the fixtures for Gaming 5. So if you have the possibility to roll this gaming, I would definitely do that. I have a feeling that Nottingham Forest will destroy Burnley today. Maybe. Possibly. I mean, they were really bad, Nottingham Forest, in the last games in the cup competitions. So yeah, maybe they are angry and they are going to let that anger on Burnley, but yeah. I just sold the Salah, King and Grealish 1 week after wildcard for -8 to Foden, Palmer and Semenyo. Hi Scrabble and Fun, also thank you so much for joining the stream. So you sold Salah, King and Grealish 1 week after wildcard for -8 to Foden, Palmer and Semenyo. So I don't know why would you sell Salah this gaming, to be honest with you. Against Everton, I think that he's probably the best captaincy option today. But yeah, Foden, Palmer and Semenyo are decent options to have long-term really good. Foden, again, if he's going to get the minutes, he's a fantastic option from Manchester City. So yeah, good luck to you. That just because I have triple up Nottingham Forest. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind 0-0. As you can see from the screen, because I have Milenkovic also, so yeah, me neither. That's funny. Scrabble and Fun. Hopefully that's going to work out for you. Now, again, everybody is going to look to sell Mohamed Salah probably for game week 6. Everybody's going to buy Haaland against Burnley. Let's see. Let's see first what's going to happen in game week 5. If Salah, for example, is going to score a hat-trick, I'm really curious how many people are going to look to make that switch then. And also after everybody is going to see Haaland blanking against Arsenal, yeah, maybe some... what I know for sure is I want to have Haaland for game week 6 because it's Burnley. And I want to captain him, so yeah. No, come on, I need Wood to provide. Yeah, let's see, Onuts, what's going to happen. Hopefully it can turn good for both of us. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, I can't see how. I want to have a clean sheet for Burnley and you want to have some goals for Nottingham Forest. So yeah, good luck to you also. Star Gudmundsson or Senesi and Captain Voldemort, Semenyo or Munoz. I think that I would Captain Semenyo in that case. But this is just what I would do, so that would be my advice. Because Semenyo some penalties, if Clivert is not going to play, Voldemort minutes are not great at the moment, and Munoz is a defender. But again, if you want to go super different, if you want to play it for fun, go for Munoz captain. What could go wrong, right? And Star Gudmundsson or Senesi. I don't know, it feels better to start Gudmundsson. Now Senesi is better for defensive contributions and probably is going to get those defensive contributions, but usually I think that Gudmundsson has the better fixture and has the better chance of keeping a clean sheet than Gudmundsson, but it's tough between both of them. Hi Tanush, Aurora, thank you so much for joining the stream, really good to see you here. Hey man, play one out of Diouf, Esteve or Reinders. Usually I like to start the attacker. In this case, I can understand if you don't wanna start Reinders. But realistically, if I had this decision to make, I think that I would still start Reinders. Because it's not like Diouf and Esteve are 100% sure to get a clean sheet or something like that. Esteve could get some defensive contributions, maybe Diouf could get some attacking returns, but other than that, I'm expecting Crystal Palace to score. I can see Nottingham Forest scoring, so I would just start running this, I think, at this point. I just hate that after 4 weeks, Semenyo is up 0.6 and I have to pay this price for him. Yeah, I mean, I hate it also. I'm really frustrating about that. Because pretty much everybody is going to buy Semenyo in Game Week 6 and his price, we lost some really big prices. That's why I think, yeah, it's frustrating. Maybe I should have made more early transfers. Now looking in hindsight, obviously, I would do that if I can turn back the time. But yeah, it is frustrating. High potential difference, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much guys for being here on the stream. 18 people. Leave a like if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much, it is really appreciating and it really means a lot. Who to sell? Anderson, Neko or Wood? If not sell, who to bench? Who to bench from those? That's tough. I think that I would start Anderson and bench Nico Williams, but all three of them have great fixtures. If you can find a way to play all three of them, that would be ideal. So yeah, definitely I would start Wood, definitely I would start Anderson, I think, but it's really close between Anderson and Nico Williams. Hi Saptesh Savan, thank you so much for joining the stream. Hi Anirban Banerjee. Good to see you here. Does Chris Wood start now since Igor Jesus scored twice? Again, Igor Jesus scored twice in the cup, but I think that Chris Wood is going to start this game week. At some point in the future, probably Wood, I would say, is going to lose his place for Nottingham Forest, but I don't think that it's game week 5, and if you have him, definitely I would just start Wood. Please give me your thoughts regarding this Nottingham Forest starting striker. I think that I would start Wood. If you have him, I think that he's going to start this game week. His minutes maybe are going to be reduced. Maybe he's going to play 60, 70, but I would take that chance with against Burnley. No doubt about that in my mind. If I had Wood, I would just start him and hope for the best. He's on penalties still, so also we don't know if he's going to be dropped at some point. We can just predict, and I think that Chris Wood is not the best player to work in Ange's system. That's why I think that at some point in the future he's not going to be their starting number 9. But other than that, we don't know. No news yet. Don't forget to sell SAR. FPL site is crap. Yeah, good. Yeah, who do you think should I get this week, Ekitike or Gyökeres? I would go Gyökeres. I definitely would not buy Ekitike because he can't even be on the bench this week. Let's wait and see. Subter Savant, maybe we're going to get some leaks. But anyway, Ekitike is not going to play when Isak is going to be fit. So his minutes, he's going to be a rotation doubt, a rotation risk. I would go Gyökeres definitely instead of Ekitike. Start Gudmundsson, Poro or Reinders. I think that I would start Poro in that case, Thomas Nilsson, but yeah, this is what I would do. Hi Connor McKenna, thank you so much for joining the stream. Also, Hirop Das, thank you so much guys for joining, really appreciated. Captain Haaland, Semenyo or Pedro, no Salah. I think that I would be tempted to captain Semenyo because you know that he's going to play 90 minutes. You know that he's going to be on penalties if Clivert is not going to play. And yeah, he's playing against Newcastle. João Pedro is playing against Man United. I don't think that Man United are going to be that bad. I think that I would go for Semenyo, but it's between Semenyo and João Pedro for me. I don't think that I would captain Haaland this week. Connor McKenna. Captain Palmer, Haaland, Munoz, Gakpo. So from the poll, a lot of people are going to use their wildcard in game week 6. Captain Palmer, Haaland, Munoz or Gakpo. I would captain Palmer, I think. Up he robbed us. If I had to make that decision myself, I would not go for Haaland, I would not go for Munoz, and I don't think that I would go for Gakpo. So I would captain Palmer in that case. Zach, who is your pick for SAR replacement? Probably Xavi Simons, and I really need to make my transfer, right? So yeah, guys. What do you think of a wildcard this week? Aston Villa players got to go. In Game Week 5, I don't think that is the best way, the best wildcard to use. I made a video, if you want to check it, about the wildcard draft in Game Week 5, but I just don't think that this is the way to do it. I think that Watkins is better than Haaland this week, for an example. Yeah, call me crazy, but I just don't have Haaland against Arsenal, Gyökeres against Manchester City, so I would wildcard in Game Week 6 if you want to use your wildcard, not in Game Week 5, but again, Will Wood play? I think that, yeah, Paras Pudel, I think that he's going to start. Maybe his minutes are going to be managed. Thanks a lot, no problem, Das. Thank you so much for joining the stream, really appreciated. Bench Njae or King? I would bench King, I think. Harlotsville, Njae is on penalties. 26 people, thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream, really appreciated. I just need to make my transfer and then I'm going to answer your question, okay? So, sorry about that. I'm going to sell SAR and I have 7.4 millions in the bank. And I'm going to go for Xavi Simons, I think. Harvey Elliott, is it too much to go for Harvey Elliott? Probably. Yeah, all week I was thinking about Xavi Simons, so I think that I'm just going to go there. My other options are Enzo Caicedo, Grealish, Paqueta, Njae, not great fixtures, Soboslai maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Xavi Simons. I think can be done with it. Hi Lawrence Corcoran, thank you so much for joining. I have Elliot in my team. Again, yeah, I obviously like him because he was a player at Liverpool, but also because I think he's a great player. I just don't think that's maybe the best punt to go for this week. I have also Rodgers and Watkins from Aston Villa in attack. Maybe a triple up would be too much. Xavi looks better than any other, to be honest. Yeah. My chip strategy next week will depend on results today, as bringing Haaland in a triple captain is very tempting and wildcard game week 8 instead. Yeah, that's my same strategy, Lawrence Corcoran. If I'm going to activate my wildcard in game week 6, it depends how these fixtures are going to happen today and tomorrow, and then just decide if I delay it a little bit or not. Does Madueke a good pick for short term, considering he takes corner as well? Saka is going to be back soon. And now, obviously, we can't really trust Arteta. He said that Saka is back in the training. We don't know when he's going to be back. Madueke is good for short term, but in the short term, the fixtures for Arsenal are really bad. They are playing against City this game week and against Newcastle next game week, so I would not go for Madueke, I think. So, yeah. But yeah, if you think that he's going to score against City and Newcastle, then you can go for him. Shade looked good last week. That's right, but I thought about Shade, I thought about Dango, but they're playing against Fulham away, and I just think that Fulham are a decent defense. So, hi Leox, thank you so much for joining. Start Van de Ven or Goodmanson and Dubravka or Pope. If you're starting Pedro Porro already, I would be tempted to just start Goodmanson to spread the risk, honestly, and also he has a better fixture. And Dubravka or Pope. Dubravka or Pope. I would be tempted to start Pope, to be honest with you, because I was impressed with Newcastle defensively, so I would go with a better defense. Now, maybe you have Semenyo. If you have Semenyo, maybe you don't want to bet against him scoring, so then just start Dubravka. But if not, if we don't know anything else, I would start Pope instead of Dubravka, probably. João Pedro or Semenyo, who will be my captain? I would go for Semenyo, I think, but João Pedro is also a nice option. Abid Al Hussein. I'll definitely try to get Xavi in for Brennan Johnson in Game Week 7. Okay, so let's make the transfer. And the funny thing is, I'm selling Sar. He's going to drop in price probably today or tomorrow, and maybe I'm going to get him back on my wildcard cheaper. So let's see if I want to have Sar in a Game Week 6 wildcard. I didn't rule that out obviously yet. Okay, so I've confirmed my transfer. Yeah. So vice captain is going to be Watkins for me. If the game gets postponed or something like that, we had some warnings about the weather in Liverpool, but yeah, we don't know yet anything. It's looking like he's going to go that game. 1 second to see if we have anything left. Xavi Simons, if I'm going to use my wildcard in Game Week 6, anyway, he's a nice punt. I thought about him all week. Let's see. Green Arrow all. Yeah, Gavin Harzenberg. I'll definitely try to save your team. Yeah, my team is saved, right? Don't scare me, guys. Yeah, my bench boost is active. My Salah is going to be my captain, so yeah, my team is saved. Hello, are you going to wildcard or free it in the next game week? Hi, I'm Hama Apsi. Depending on what's going to happen in game week 5, I'm going to wildcard probably in game week 6 or in game week 8. So I'm still thinking about it. depending how these players are going to play, right? Let's be honest. Wirtz, Rogers, Watkins, if they are going to turn it up somehow, maybe I'm going to delay it because my team looks decent for game week 6 and 7. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, should we consider Timber? Probably we should consider Timber. Morna Esho, thank you so much for joining the stream. If I'm going to go for an Arsenal defender, I prefer to go for Gabriel for the safety. Timber, again, he was amazing. He scored a lot of points this season, and maybe there was a little bit of luck in that. But yeah, if he's going to start for Arsenal, obviously he's an amazing pick. But this is the problem. I'm not confident he's going to start every gaming for Arsenal. Same for Calafiori. But at some point, we should, yeah, consider him. Dexter, hi, thank you so much for joining. Also ranked 1.6 million, don't want to drop. Verbruggen, Dubravka, Renildo, Guehi, Van de Ven, Konsa, Dorgu, Salah, Bruno, Njay, Miley, Haaland, Pedro. Your team looks great, Dexter. Should I save, transfer, or suggest any changes? 1.2 in the bank. So you're going to start Guehi, Van de Ven, and Konsa probably, right? You're going to start Salah, Bruno, Njay, and Haaland, Pedro, Mateta. Your team looks great, Dexter. I would just save the transfer. I think in your case, you have Haaland, you have Salah. So yeah. Yeah, why you deleted your message, Morna Esho? There wasn't any problem with it. It was a really nice question. I think that I would start Dubravka and play Guehi, Van de Ven, and Konsa. Dexter, looking at your team. Okay, so my team is saved. Let me just make a screenshot so I can share it later. Okay. So gaming 5, I'm pretty much locked in. Make sure you make your transfer, guys. 8 minutes till the deadline. Semenyo, it was by accident, no problem. Pedro or Van de Ven. I think that I will start Pedro. Good luck, Denis. Good luck, Ibrahim. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream. Aman Khan, also, thanks so much for joining. Would you go Van de Ven, Cucurella plus Reinders or Romero, Cucurella plus Caicedo on wildcard? Very low rank on wildcard and have Foden. I would go Van de Ven, Cucurella and Reinders. Aman Khan. Hey matey, hi Mr. Blanky, thanks so much for joining. Semenyo, Xavi, Grealish, Paqueta, Grealish, this is my mid. Should I go all 5? Yeah, I mean, your team looks great now. You wrote Grealish 2 times, so maybe you have 2 Grealish. Hi Flash, hi it's Jack, top stream as always. Hi Jack, thank you so much for joining the stream. We need 80 points this game week. Yeah, hopefully. Still no team news. Nah. Sadly, no. Should I play Adingra or Nico Williams? I would play Nico Williams, I think, in that case. Start 2 among Jay, Bruno, or Reinildo. Thank you, and best captain this week. I would start Jay and Bruno for sure. They are the midfielders. On penalties also. Best captain this week, Mohamed Salah. If you have him, then if you want to take a punt, Watkins, Palmer, João Pedro, Semenyo, in this order. Maybe then Gyökeres, Haaland, but I don't really like this fixture. Do I transfer out Wirtz? It really depends. If you didn't thought about it until now, maybe just keep Wirtz for one more game week and then transfer him out. But if you don't have a player like Semenyo, yeah, you can just sell him to Semenyo, and that's perfectly fine for the future. Wirtz is not convincing at the moment. Let me just check that my team is in order. Also on the phone, I like to check my team. So, Sanchez, Milenkovic, Anderson, Richards, Dubravka, Reinders, Pedro Porro, Esteve, bench boost active. Mateta, João Pedro, Watkins, Salah captain, Xavi, Simons, Wirtz, Rogers. Amazing. I'm just going to score 100 points this week, so I'm just letting you know, guys. This is going to be my this is going to be the comeback, right? This is my comeback. Okay, I'm also using my bench boost, so maybe that's cheating a little bit, but yeah. Hi Zaid Alomar, choose 2, Johnson, Grealish, King. I would start Grealish and King because I don't think that Johnson from Spurs is going to start. But yeah. Do you think Palmer is a better captain than Semenyo? Probably yes. If he's going to get good minutes, I think that Palmer is a better captain than Semenyo, yes. But it's close. 4 minutes, guys. Make sure you lock in your teams. Do I transfer out Wirtz? Okay. João Pedro, Xavi Simons, Paqueta or Semenyo? Who would you captain for this week? I would not captain Xavi Simons. I would not captain Paqueta. Between João Pedro or Semenyo, it's really close, but probably I would go for Semenyo for the possibility of being on penalties. So I would go Semenyo from those picks, I think. Last question, Dubravka or Verbruggen. Thank you for all the help. I think that I would go for Dubravka. But yeah, thank you so much for being on the stream. Hopefully my advice is going to help you a little bit. Captain Haaland, Fernandes or Semenyo. Fernandes or Semenyo. I think that I would go Semenyo. Mr. Blanky, but it's really close. Wanted Simons, but will stick with Kudus and roll transfer until I wildcard. Yeah, I just want a player to play on the bench boost, obviously, so hopefully Xavi Simons is going to get good minutes, and who knows, on set pieces he can always get some attacking returns. Dubravka or Raya, I would start Raya, but I can understand if you don't want to do that. I would go for Arsenal. I can smell the red arrow already, no Salah and so many bench boosts. Yeah, I mean, Salah has a tough fixture against Everton, but who knows? Also, the kickoff, not great to captain him in the first game week. If Salah is going to blank, yeah, it's going to be really frustrating, but it is what it is. Brennan Johnson to Gakpo. I think that Brennan Johnson is not going to start. If you don't have Semenyo, I would go for Semenyo. If not, I think that Gakpo is fine for this week. Just maybe in the future, maybe his minutes are not going to be that good. Hi, Tejev site. A lot of questions right now. Start one of Reinders or Elliot. I would start Elliot for sure. Same on Lee. I think that Elliot is going to start. Now this is just my opinion, so yeah, if you want to take zero risk, start Reinders. But I think that Elliot is going to start, and he has the better fixture. Your advice have helped me a lot. I have never been under 1.5 million overall. I hopefully my advices will be better for you in the future. You're going to get better, trust me. Senesi, Milenkovic, Lacroix, Van de Ven. Could you please choose 2 for me to play? I would play Milenkovic and Lacroix. If you really need to pick 2 from those 4, I would bench Senesi and Van de Ven, and I would play Milenkovic and Lacroix. Hi Hugo Stovic, thank you so much for joining. I would start Sanchez instead of Dubravka. This is what I would do. Sorry guys, we don't have so much time to answer your question properly, but the deadline is almost there, so I can't answer all the questions. Do I bench boost with Dubravka, Anderson, Guyu and Esteve? I would not bench boost with Guyu, I think. I would wait for another chance. Johnson to Gakpo or Nico Williams to Van de Ven, Virgil van Dijk, Frimpong. Johnson to Gakpo. Johnson's to Gakpo I would do. Diev. Last minute benching, headache, Lork, Senesi or Poro. I would start... That's tough, man. Come on. I would go Poro for the upside if you want to take a little bit of a risk. If you want to go safe, go Senesi. Anderson, Poro, Munoz, Williams, and Esteve. Which three to start? I would start Anderson, Munoz, and Williams. Anderson, Munoz, Williams. What team do you support? Liverpool. And yeah, we're going to have more time to talk, guys. We are locked in, I think. So my bench boost was active. I mean, you can still make changes on the app, but we should be locked in. Time's up. Good luck, everyone, except Salah owners. Hey, Florine. That's not nice. Wish me some luck. Look at my rank. I'm 3.7 millions. I could use some help with my captaincy. Good luck, everyone. Joking. Hopefully, all of you are going to get some green arrows. I'm going to stay here a little bit more on the stream. If you want to stay with me, we're going to take a look at some news. If we get some... yeah, I think that you can still make changes on your team, but yeah, that's weird. "36 likes. Thank you so much, guys, for your incredible support today. Really appreciated all of you who got here on the stream. It really means a lot. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, okay. So the game is updating. I got 62 points last game week, Dexter. Now I can't show you because the game is updating at the moment. I really don't want Salah to score. I dropped him for Haaland last week. Good luck to you, Saptesh Savant. I wish you all guys to have good luck now. Obviously, I want Salah to do something because he's my captain and also I'm a Liverpool fan. So, yeah. I was thinking how Wildcard 6 is good because players will go away for international and then their injuries. I mean, if the players are going to go out in you're going to have an international break, that doesn't mean they are going to necessarily get injured, right? But yeah, I understand your point. Wildcard 8 could be a really nice option also to wildcard. So I totally understand it. We don't need any negativity here, Septesh. So yeah. Wildcard 6 is good basically if you wanna get early on Salah, on players like this. So yeah. Oh my god. Just a second, guys. We're going to see if we get any news. We're going to wait to see the Liverpool lineup. Do you think Arsenal has the chance at the title? I'm frustrating Arsenal fans since 2006. I mean, yes, I'm a Liverpool fan. Obviously, I want Liverpool to win, and I think that we have a good chance of winning the league again. But I think that Arsenal have a good chance of winning the league. If I'm being realistically, you guys are really good. Arsenal has a really good defense, and that's really important. Um, so yeah, obviously I think that Liverpool has the better attack, but defense is wins you Premier Leagues. So yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so let's see. Let's see first what's happening on Twitter. That was not the case for the last 2 seasons, even after having the best defense in the league. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, I get your point. But last season, Liverpool also were pretty decent defensively. Now again, now you have Gyökeres, you have Eze, you have clearly a better, I mean not clearly, but a better squad overall than Liverpool, I would say, on the bench at least. Eze, Martinelli, Trossard, Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus. You have a lot of players and squad depth, so yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Last year, you were also really unlucky with the injuries with Havertz, with Bukayo Saka. The same this season. Bukayo Saka is injured, but probably is going to be back soon, right? Pam pam. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support in this stream. I really appreciate it, and it really means a lot. I'm always pro Arteta, but if doesn't win UCL or Premier League, has to go. What do you think? I think the same. I mean, he created a nice team, a good team at Arsenal, but he is here for some years and he didn't really win any major trophies. So I would say that, yeah, he this year he has to win something major. This is my opinion now. Yeah, if he's going to stay after that, I don't know. I can't answer you that, but I feel like Arsenal have to win something big this season, or it's just not worth it to be second all the time. It doesn't matter at all. So yeah. So Harry, FPL Harry, used his bench boost also. Dubravka, Pedro Porro, Senesi, Reinders. I have Esteve instead of Senesi, so pretty much the same bench boost as mine. Yeah. Do 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 do. Yeah, no news yet for Liverpool. Ben Crane, again, another amazing FPL manager. Look at the screen. He's 6.6 millions at the moment. So that's why I was saying, guys, don't worry too much about rank at these early stages. Ben Crane is one of the best I know. And yeah, no transfers. He rolled with Wirtz, with Mateta. Uh, so yeah. Tu-tu-ru-ru-ru. Tu-tu-ru-tu. Is Murillo playing? Hi Rev 1G. I mean, he's a doubt, definitely. If obviously the deadline passed, so it doesn't matter what I say right now. I think that he isn't going. Sorry, I I was rambling a little bit. He's going to play, or he's not going to feature at all. This is my impression at the moment. I think that he has a good chance of starting, and if he's going to start, it means that he's fit. But yeah, it doesn't really matter right now. The deadline passed, so yeah, good luck, by the way. Thank you so much for joining the stream. We're just going to be here for a little while, but yeah, if we can reach to 40 likes, that would be amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. It really means a lot. In some minutes, in 4 minutes, we should get the lineups, right, for Liverpool. Thank you for answering. No problem, Rev1G. I always try to answer all the questions. And yeah, good to see you here on the stream. I'm not sure if you were here before on the stream, but thank you so much for joining. It really means a lot. And yeah, it's my pleasure to answer questions, FPL related and not just FPL related. Wildcard will be active this week. Maybe, Raul. Thank you so much. We reached 40 likes. That's amazing. Also, guys, if you as you may know, if you watch my channel Wednesday, I'm trying to make a new series called Wildcard Wednesday. And this week, next week, I mean, on Wednesday, I'm going to try to have some guests on stream. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy that, but I need to see if I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, just a note there. You can be a great Premier League footballer without being a great FPL asset. Yeah. I mean, that's funny. The current Ballon d'Or holder, which is Rodri from Manchester City, gets to 3 FPL points every week. So remember, guys, yeah, you can be a good footballer without being a good FPL player. Wirtz is not starting. This is from FPL Mate. This is not great for my team at all. Yeah. I don't know if this is reliable or not, but sure, it is really frustrating. Probably I'm just hitting that wildcard button today, probably. It was always a possibility for Wirtz to be benched at some point, I guess. But I hoped it would not come to this. That's not great. Okay, so apparently no Wirtz for Liverpool in the starting 11. That's horrible. Horrible. What a bad pick was Wirtz. What a horrible pick from Game Week 1 was Wirtz for me. Yeah, I think that I'm close to rage wildcarding. Yeah, Wirtz is on the bench. Frustrating. So Soboslai, McAllister. Whoa. Okay. Soboslai, McAllister and Gravenberg in midfield. Ekitike starting as I was expecting. Gakpo starting, Salahi starting, and also Bradley starting, right? Yeah. Not a lot of surprises, just Wirtz is not starting, which is horrible. I hate this game, man. At this point, of course, he's going to come in the second half. Maybe he's going to get some returns or not. But yeah, not great. Not looking great. I mean, obviously, Wirtz played in the Champions League, so there was always a chance he would be on the bench. But definitely, I think that I'm going to use my wildcard. If he's going to blank this gaming, Wirtz probably is going to get another price drop, and I just can't take it. So wildcard gaming 6 really looking likely for me. Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, and Jay. Yeah, everybody starts for Everton. Wirtz is the worst, the worst pick ever. Yeah. Yeah, well, it is what it is, guys. Yeah, hopefully my other players are going to play. But yeah, Wirtz is on the bench. This is what we know. Again, he's going to came in. Obviously, he's going to get some. I mean, we don't know if he's going to get some returns, but yeah, Wirtz is on the bench. Amazing, I would say. Yeah, guys, so if you don't have any other questions, yeah, it's looking likely I'm going to use my wildcard in Game Week 6. I'm just going to post a video early about the wildcard I made yesterday, and let's see how this is going to change in the last in the fixtures. But yeah, Isak is on the bench. That's expected. Yeah, definitely it's not funny for the Wits owner, but again, I'm one of them. You can just laugh at this situation. It was always a possibility for Wirtz to be benched. Yeah, it is what it is. He was a sell before this. I just keep him before using my wildcard. Probably I'm going to activate my wildcard now by gaming 6. But yeah, let's wait and see what's going to happen today. Maybe he's going to come in, maybe he's going to get something, but anyway, he's looking like a sell, and he looked like a sell for some game mix already. Squad rotation is essential. Excited to see Bradley. Yeah. Also, Andy, I see he used his bench boost. Yeah, not a great start to the weekend. Luckily for Wirtz, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I can't hate him. But yeah, in terms of FPL, not amazing. So yeah, this is the team for Liverpool. From next game week, I expect back Wirtz, Isak to be back on the pitch. Um, so yeah, Wirtz pick ever. Yeah, a terrible pick overall for gaming from gaming one. From me, it is what it is. We need to move on. Thank you so much, guys, for being here on the stream. I think that we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much for being on the stream. I really appreciate all your support. It really means a lot. And yeah, check out my content today, tomorrow. We're going to see what's going to happen. I wish you all to have a great weekend, firstly, and then to have some green arrows. So thanks a lot for being here. I'm going to see you next time. Bye.